Come on. Morning world. Welcome to Sunday, 4th of September. Overcast, cooler, air's quite nice. So we're off to the farm. I want to go and check on my young stock. I haven't seen him for a couple of days. It's quite handy having my brother over because he's been going down and checking on him once a day for me, which has taken the pressure off a bit because it's meant I haven't had to. But I do like to see him at least a few times a week myself. You know, it's all very well getting reports saying, yeah, everything's happy, everything's calm, they're all got their heads down, they're all happily eating away and stuff. But no, there's nothing quite like seeing it with your own eyes sometimes. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go and see the cattle first, have a quick wander around there, make sure everybody's happy, and then it'll be in to see the dad. So for the usual Sunday morning pilgrimage to make sure he's okay. So I've been reading through the comments this morning of from yesterday's video, mugging out a funky farmer shed, and yeah, thank you. Lots of lovely comments. Lots of people said very nice things. I mean, I didn't put the video up to try and garner praise off everybody because I did it because I wanted to do it. And like most blokes that I know, I get far more pleasure from giving than receiving. It's nice to feel useful, to feel appreciated, and to think you've managed to do your bit to help someone else out. And I know for sure that if I had a problem and if Rich could help, he would happily do the same for me. So, and that's kind of what matedom's all about. You know, I have a very small circle of folks that I will actually call friends. There are those in the world that measure their popularity by how many friends they got on their Facebook or Instagram page. I don't work like that. In fact, as some of you have already found out, if you've tried to friend me on Facebook, I don't do it. I've got about 60 people on my Facebook that are what I call friends. This is my personal Facebook that I call friends, that I can put something on my personal and make it for friends only, if you know what I mean. So I've just got a message then. That's not very often that happens. Pretty much everything I put on my personal page gets shared to Bradley Farm or the tree page. But don't get offended if I don't accept your friend request. That page is for colleagues and family, pretty much. That's about it. So don't get offended if I don't accept your request. I don't need hundreds or thousands of friends. I'd rather have 5 really good ones than hundreds of folks that I never talk to, if that makes sense. So, but yeah, I got a few friends that I would literally, if they were in need, I would certainly, if I could, drop what I was doing and go and help them out. So, and that, as far as I'm concerned, is how it should be. If everybody has 5 or 6 really good friends that they can call on and rely on, or whatever else, and they'll come to the assistance, that to me is, that's what a friend is. Okay, there's no payment, there's no, oh, I owe you a favour of that. It's a case of, I'll help you out. You know, there's nothing owed. I don't know. It seems that society today has lost some of that. It's all a case of, well, if I do a favour for you, you owe me. You know, or you got to pay me, or I need some kind of reward. And it's not like that. Even if there was no YouTube, and even if there was nothing to share, I would still do it. So, I don't need I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate it. I don't need a pat on the back and for he's a jolly good fellow. That it's just that's how people should be. You know. So wherever you are, whoever you are, if you've got a couple of good friends, then they should know that within your group, if anyone in your group of friends needs help, you'll help them out. And even if that means helping out a friend's friend, if you can lend a hand, we all pull together. You know, everybody supports each other, and no, not for reward. They do it because they want to. Anyway, thank you very much for the very kind messages and comments. I blushed on a few of them. I tittered on a few others. I pondered on a couple. As far as my relationship with Rich Cornock and family ties, there isn't any what I would call direct blood link between us and the Cornocks. A Cornock son married a Pullen daughter long 250 years ago, and the Cornocks, because he was the son, that their boys took on part of our name as well. But that part or branch of the family tree is a slightly different direction to my personal one. So yeah, so we are kind of related through marriage. Not our marriage, I'm not going to marry him, don't worry. We are kind of related, but we're not. So we are, but we're not. Sort of. Maybe one day we'll sit down and work out exactly what our relationship is. But for right now, I will settle for mates. That's plenty good enough for me. So, yeah, he makes me smile. Every time I go there and have a cup of tea with him, we end up having a laugh. So, and there are days when we all need a bit of a laugh. So, and we kind of bounce off each other. He says something, I'll pick up on it instantaneously and turn it around into something else. And, and sometimes he has to cut that out of videos because I've been a little bit too naughty. But yeah, it's just fun, you know. And that's what life is. You've got to have fun. Life is too short to be chasing every last pound or your career or anything. You've got to think of family and life. You know, you have to live your life. So, right, I'm going to get off my soapbox now because I'm dribbling on again and I've made myself bleed again. So I'm a terrible picker. You may have noticed in videos that I'm scratching something. I've got little scabs on my arms that I've had for years, and they won't go away because I'll be talking or not even, or watching TV, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, don't even know I've done it. So what I ought to do is what we did to our kids when they were babies, when they were scratching their faces. Put a sock on my hand. That's not going to happen. No. A bit of blood's good for you, you know. I got too much in me anyway. Yeah, that's as far as I got with the topper when I was over here last, and I picked up a roll of barbed wire in there. That was fun. So from here, the hedge reduction we did last week over there doesn't actually look that bad. I got a funny feeling I'm going to recover from the shock of that fairly quickly. No, a couple of months. Come on. Well, they've certainly chewed it off a bit. I might have to start bringing them over a bale. I got enough for a couple more days. But yeah, bale it is. Come on up. Come up. Nope, we're going to stay here and you can come to us. Oh, curiosity's got the better of you then, is it? Hello, boys and girls. Good morning. How are we today? Everybody okay? You okay? Yeah, you all look all right. You're a bit shitty, and you're a little bit shitty as well. Or have you let in it? They are quite loose. That is very loose. Okay. That could possibly be, although it's a bit long now, the aftermath of being weaned and guts changing and microbes changing and stuff, but yeah, you are a little bit loose. So I hope you haven't got worms in here. Shouldn't have. I might have to, I haven't got a sample pot, I might have to come over with a sample pot or a rubber glove. Sometimes if you haven't got a pot, that's the best thing to do. Get a rubber glove, grab a handful, take the glove off and take the glove in. What the bloody hell's that? You can't see it, but there is something flying over there that is a queer shape. It looks like a kite. What on earth is that? I've never seen anything like that in my life. It's not very far away because it's just flown in front of the trees. I thought maybe it was a hang glider. But how odd. If you're travelling on the M5 motorway and it's 10:28 in the morning, actually I'm a minute and a half fast, and you can see something flying over your head over there, and you can see what it is, let me know. I mean, if I wanted to say anything, it's a big bird carrying another big bird that's dead. But don't make sense. So, okay, someone's not too happy about the cattle being so close, are you? Hey, not really. So, thing is though, is I want to encourage the cattle to come up close. I need them to trust me. So this is one of those things where there's not anything really to do with them apart from stand here and talk, and just talking and letting them hear your voice and getting used to you and proving that there's no threat. I'm not going to hurt anybody. They're all safe. So he's just brazened ears. He don't care at all. I'm intrigued to know what that is over there though. All right, Biscuit, they don't want to hurt you. They're just curious. Just curious. She says, I'm just telling them. Just to make sure that they know. Okay, that's enough of that. Right, let's go and find brother and father. They are a bit shitty though. Yeah, remind me, come back, get a sample. Actually, I wonder. I may have a solution as to why some of them are a bit shitty. I will just go and check and see. No, I might be wrong after all. Although, can you see any apples on the floor? Plenty up in the tree. Oh, there's a couple there. A couple there, but have they just fallen off? I'm wondering if some of them are picking up these crab apples, and maybe that's what's making them a bit loose, because there's nothing on the floor, and they've obviously spent quite a bit of time under here. I'll still do a poo sample, but come on you. But yeah, that could well be what the problem is. I will go home in a minute. I've just spotted something that needs my attention. This won't take long. No, you can't. You coming from the same route? Yes, you are. Right, oh yeah, I've got most of that. The thing with ragwort is you want this bulbous bit of root underneath, and the last thing you want to see is a white bit where it's broken off. So I actually think I've got the entire bulb. So hopefully that's not going to come back. Right, that's going to go in a bag in the fire. Come on. I'll just check the sheep's salt block while I'm here. We have still got, oh yeah, plenty in there. That's all right. Yeah, when I bought the blocks for my cattle, I bought a few for Abby for her sheep as well. So just to help them out a bit. Come on, you. Wrong way. See, I'm watching other channels and they're telling me how wonderful their crop of blackberries are, but ours down here is still not that good. There's a few in there that are half reasonable size, but sweet enough. But they're still pretty small, considering this is the side of a ditch. Yeah, there's nothing in there that I'm not going to get fat on that. I can't eat too many blackberries anyway. They upset my colitis. So it's the seeds going through, a bit scratchy, you know, irritates things. Tastes nicer. Going in. Right, the weatherman says possibly rain in a couple of hours, so I'm going to do this job now. Biscuit, come on. Biscuit, where are you? Come on. There we go. Good girl. So when I went to visit my dad this morning after looking at the cattle, it was mentioned that there's a water tank down the farm that he needs to be moved. It's disconnected and just chucked in the long grass. I think it's only a 4 foot, maybe a 5 foot tank, but it's an old galvanized riveted tank, and they're quite valuable these days, mainly as flower planters. But he wants it moved just in case the digger driver runs over it and squashes it, which is kind of fair enough. But if I'm going over there to get that, I might as well take that with me while I'm going. Come out of there. This is probably one of those things where I'm going to wish that I thought I'd doing this with a skid steer rather than by hand, but we'll try it by hand first. I might get it up there. I might not. No good trying to put up on a round edge. He's got to go up on a flat one. Easy. Now I could try and be clever and take a bale as well, but the cattle aren't starving over there, they're not desperate for it. So maybe I'll take a bale over tomorrow or next day, but I'll need the ring feeder over there first, so I've got something to protect the bale with. That's why I'm doing it. Yes, I did shut the gate. Right then. Well, they all look all right out there. So I could report to Abby that her sheep are all like that and not like that. That'll save her a trip over, won't it? Yeah, I shut that gate too. It doesn't matter really if the sheep and the cattle mix together, but I'd prefer to keep them separate. So, right, they're all comfy over there, sat in the corner, quite happy. So I'm going to put the feeder back where I did last year, which is basically underneath the beech trees. Just gives them all a bit of shelter, doesn't it? This is also a piece of ground that we obviously don't cut for hay or anything like that, so it doesn't matter if they chew it up a little bit underneath here. Okay, that's ready for first bale. You're going? No, you're not coming out. No, we're not going out. No. No. Go on your bed. Go, girl. Right, that's job 1 done. Next, job 2. Yeah, unlike me, that gate does actually swing both ways. Well, my fence is still standing. That's a good thing. So I'm just gonna have a slightly closer look at the sheep while I'm here. It's all very well telling Abby they're all okay, but you kind of need to get up a bit closer and a bit closer. Make sure everything is okay. You're all right. You're all right. Yeah, you're all right. And you are. Nothing's nabbing or limping or dead. I'm wondering if we perhaps should leave this to a second crop of rape. Look at all the volunteers. I mean, some of it is well away. Well, Cribs, there is nearly a crop of... Do you know what? There are people out there who have drilled OSR who would love to see that. And we're going to kill it. I don't know quite what happened there. But that's a little bit oversown, I reckon. Right, here comes the rain. I think I'm going to crack on with the job I came here to do. So, yeah, volunteer OSR. It's a way. Come on, you. Let's get. If you don't come, you're walking. Come on. Right, so hopefully the description of where this water tank is good. because if it's not, I'm probably going to get wet. It's not that I mind getting wet, but if I have the choice, I'd rather not, really. There's also a hell of a crop of OSR right here too. How much did we lose? It's green with it. Right, so apparently the thing I seek is in the gap in the hedge up here. Ah, there it is. That is not a 4-foot tank, Dad. It's also not a riveted tank. Okay, right, here it comes. I'm going to put the camera in the dry and see if I can get that on the back of the truck. No point in picking up more than I have to. That's a 4-foot tank. My name's Mary. So if this is a riveted tank, I probably won't be able to lift it because they're really heavy, but it's not, so I can. Easy. Right, well, I don't think he would have crushed any because he would have seen it easy enough, but the reason Dad wanted it moved is the digger hedge man's coming down this section of hedge as well, and we're having all these dead elms out because last year it wound everybody up when the OSR was not much bigger than this is what's emerging now, not much bigger than this. These trees were all lined with pigeons and they were all like going, yummy, OSR, and they were just coming out of these dead elms. We lost, easily hundreds and hundreds of pounds worth of crop down this edge here from pigeons just coming up back and forward to these trees, just grazing. So we're taking the perch. We don't want the dead elms anyway. They're not any good to anybody apart from maybe some invertebrates, but if they fall down when there's a crop out here, they're a nuisance to the combine. So we might just have it out now. So yeah, all the dead elms down, and I think we're going to take the top off the hedge, bring the hedge down a bit neater as well, just tidy the place up a bit. So, and it is mainly for pigeons. Okay, pigeons are not so interested in sitting in a 6-foot on top of a 6-foot hedge. They want to be up where they can see. So yeah, pigeons. Come on, you, let's go. Okay, so yeah, the that hedge coming down over there I didn't like too much, but to be honest, that would have the same result as this with the grazing birds pinching the crop. So taking it down over there, although they're still going to sit in the ash and the oak trees, but at least it narrows down to where they're going to be sitting, makes it easier for us to get there and shoot them if we have to. Yeah, I thought I'd take an alternative route home. See, it's not even nibbled. I would have expected maybe some slug damage, or maybe flea beetle, but nothing. Okay, I was a little, no, I did spot a plant with a little hole in it, but yeah, I'll be dead in a couple of weeks. Gone, replaced with wheat. I'm just watching a sparrowhawk out here. Unfortunately, he's too far away if you really see, but you might pick up the flock of little birds. They're literally flying around and around, in the sparrowhawks on the floor, and they're literally just going round and round him, mobbing him. So it's like, we can see you, we know where you are, but he's literally sat in the field just out there. I can see him. You can't. Maybe you will. I'll put the camera outside so you can go through glass, but basically we're driving right at him. Pretty sure it's a cockbird. There he goes. I don't know if you could see that flying off. Yeah. He's in the ash tree in the bottom there now. So, right. I shouldn't really be driving all over this, but it's been broken up. It's got to be drilled. By the time Reg tells me off, it'd be too late because I've already gone. But I'll show you this bit of hedge down here. For those of you that have been around long enough, do you remember the water fountain we had a couple of years ago? We had a water main go down here, or a valve broke on a water main, and for a couple of weeks we had a fountain, not like a small fountain, but a proper big fountain. So I'm assuming there was an elm tree in there and he's pulled it out. So yeah, so this hedge here was up 20 foot in places, and it was a mess. I mean, it's still a bit of a mess now, but in the corner over there was a 30-foot ash tree which had the first signs of dieback. So he's actually made a pretty tidy job of taking that out of there. So I think Reg and Andy are coming down next week. So what we've agreed with, if Reg and Andy burn all the rubbish up, they can have all the wood out of it. Well, for them with the Manitou, once they've cut the wood out with the grab, it will take them not very long to have a bit of a bonfire out on here on the stubble once it is sprayed off, and get rid of that, scatter it about. So yeah, so I'm sorry, Itchington, Earthcut, Latteridge, whoever it is, whichever way the winds are going on the day, there might be a little bit of smoke on one day from a little fire. There's volunteers out here as well. It is green with OSR.